Ever checked into a hotel only to realize you're not the only guest? Australia is home to some of the world's most haunted hotels, where chilling ghost stories and dark histories linger in every shadowy corner. From murdered sailors to heartbroken spirits, these places don't just check you in, they might never let you leave. Grab your bravest friends and turn up the volume, because tonight, we're uncovering the 10 most terrifying haunted hotels in Australia. Sleep with the lights on, if you dare. The Russell Hotel. The Russell Hotel in Sydney is one of Australia's most famous haunted locations, with a dark history that sends chills down the spine of anyone who stays there. Built in the 1880s, this historic hotel sits in the Rocks, an area known for its rough past of crime, disease, and death. Many guests and staff have reported ghostly encounters, especially in Room 8, where a restless spirit named the Rocks Push Ghost is said to linger. Legend says a sailor was murdered in this room long ago, and his spirit never left. Visitors have heard strange knocks, felt sudden cold spots, and even seen a shadowy figure standing at the foot of the bed. Some say the ghost is playful, moving objects or whispering in the dark, while others claim to feel an eerie presence watching them. The hotel's basement is another hotspot for paranormal activity. Workers have reported hearing phantom footsteps and disembodied voices, possibly linked to the area's grim past when it was used for shady dealings. The Russell Hotel's haunted reputation has made it a favorite for ghost hunters and thrill seekers, but not everyone is brave enough to spend the night. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the stories and strange happenings make this place a must-visit for anyone who loves a good scare. The Princess Theatre in Melbourne is not just a grand old stage. It's also home to one of Australia's most famous ghosts. Built in 1854, this historic theatre has a resident spirit named Frederick Federici, an opera singer who met a tragic end. During an 1888 performance of Faust, Federici, playing the demon Mephistopheles, descended into a trap door as part of the show. But something went wrong. He suffered a heart attack and died backstage, yet the audience never knew until the curtain fell. Since then, many claim his ghost still lingers, watching performances from the shadows. Actors, crew, and visitors have reported strange happenings for over a century. Some say they've seen a well-dressed man in old-fashioned clothes sitting in the balcony, only for him to vanish moments later. Others hear unexplained whispers backstage or feel a sudden chill in the air. The most famous sighting was in the 1990s when a cleaner swore she saw Federici's ghost bowing to her before disappearing into thin air. Even skeptics can't ignore the theater's eerie atmosphere, especially in the old dressing rooms and beneath the stage where Federici took his last breath. Some believe he's still performing, forever trapped in the place he loved most. Whether you catch a show or take a ghost tour, the Princess Theatre's haunted past adds a thrilling twist to its glittering history. 3. The Toowong Cemetery Ghost Hotel. The Toowong Cemetery Ghost Hotel in Brisbane isn't your typical haunted place, because it might not even exist. Rumors swirl about an abandoned hotel near Toowong Cemetery, one of Australia's oldest and most haunted graveyards. Locals whisper about a crumbling building where shadowy figures lurk in broken windows and ghostly voices echo at night. Some say it was once a mortuary or a caretaker's lodge, while others insist it was a makeshift hospital during a cholera outbreak. But the creepiest stories claim it was a hiding spot for grave robbers who stole bodies in the 1800s. Despite the tales, no official records confirm the hotel's existence, adding to the mystery. Visitors to the cemetery report strange activity nearby, cold spots, phantom footsteps, and the feeling of being watched. Some even swear they've seen a ghostly woman in white, wandering near the gates as if searching for something. Skeptics say the hotel is just an urban legend, But thrill seekers still sneak in at night, hoping to catch a glimpse of the supernatural. Whether real or imagined, the stories tie into the cemetery's grim history, where thousands of souls rest, many forgotten by time. If you're brave enough to explore, keep an eye out. You might just find more than you bargained for. The North Kapunda Hotel. The North Kapunda Hotel in South Australia is often called the most haunted pub in the country, with a history so dark it sends shivers down your spine. Built in 1849 during the rough and tumble days of the gold rush, this old hotel saw its fair share of violence, drunken brawls, and even murder. The ghost of a former publican, Charlie, is said to haunt the place after he was shot dead in the bar over a gambling dispute. Staff and visitors have heard his heavy footsteps stomping upstairs when no one is there, and some swear they've seen his grumpy face glaring from the shadows. But Charlie isn't the only restless spirit here. A young girl named Emily is often spotted near the fireplace, where she supposedly died in a tragic accident long ago. People hear her giggling or feel a small, cold hand tugging at their clothes. Others have encountered a mysterious woman in black who vanishes into thin air. The cellar is the creepiest spot. Workers refuse to go down alone after hearing whispers and feeling unseen hands brush against them. Ghost hunters and paranormal investigators flock to the North Kapunda Hotel, capturing eerie voices and strange shadows on camera. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the heavy, uneasy feeling in the air is hard to ignore. With its violent past and endless ghost stories, this pub doesn't just serve drinks, it serves up nightmares. 5. The Monte Cristo Homestead. The Monte Cristo Homestead in Junee, New South Wales, isn't just haunted, it's considered Australia's most terrifying haunted house. Built in 1885 by the Crawley family, this grand Victorian mansion hides a dark past filled with tragedy, cruelty, and unexplained deaths. Visitors and paranormal investigators swear the place is crawling with ghosts, each with their own tragic story. The most famous spirit is Mrs. Crawley herself, who is said to wander the halls in her black mourning dress, still grieving the loss of her infant son. Some claim to hear her weeping or feel her icy presence watching them. Then there's the ghost of a maid who allegedly fell, or was pushed, from the balcony, her screams sometimes echoing through the night. A stable boy, said to have been chained up and left to die after stealing, haunts the outbuildings, his moans sending chills down the spines of those who dare to listen. Even the garden isn't safe. A caretaker was murdered there, and his shadowy figure has been seen lurking near the old rose bushes. The current owners have documented countless eerie happenings, doors slamming on their own, phantom footsteps, and even ghostly children's laughter. Some visitors leave in tears, overwhelmed by the heavy, oppressive atmosphere. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the Monte Cristo Homestead's horrifying history and endless paranormal reports make it a place where fear feels very, very real. 6. The Victoria Hotel. The Victoria Hotel in Fremantle, Western Australia might look like a charming historic pub from the outside, but it has a spine-tingling reputation as one of the state's most haunted locations. Built in the late 1800s during Fremantle's rough port town days, the old hotel saw plenty of violence, shady dealings, and untimely deaths. Energy that seems to linger in its creaky hallways and shadowy corners. The most famous ghost is a former barmaid named Rosie, who supposedly died in the building under mysterious circumstances. Staff and guests have reported seeing her apparition in the ladies' bathroom, where the taps sometimes turn on by themselves, and the scent of old-fashioned perfume fills the air when no one is there. Others have heard her whispering or even giggling in empty rooms. But Rosie isn't the only spirit haunting the Vic. A grumpy old man, believed to be a past owner, has been spotted scowling near the bar before vanishing into thin air. Some say he doesn't like the modern changes to his beloved pub. Down in the cellar, workers have felt sudden chills and heard phantom footsteps, as if someone or something is pacing in the darkness. Even skeptics get goosebumps when the lights flicker for no reason or doors slam shut on their own. With its eerie atmosphere and countless ghost stories, the Victoria Hotel is more than just a place for a drink. It's where the past never quite stays buried. Whether you're a ghost hunter or just curious, a visit here might leave you wondering if the dead are still hanging around. 7. The Grand Hotel. The Grand Hotel in Melbourne stands as a beautiful relic of the Victorian era, but behind its elegant facade lies a haunted reputation that sends shivers through even the bravest guests. Built in the late 1800s, this historic hotel has seen its share of tragedy, from fatal accidents to mysterious deaths, leaving behind restless spirits that refuse to check out. The most famous ghost is a woman in a long, flowing dress, often seen gliding through the hallways before disappearing into walls. Guests have reported waking up to the sensation of someone sitting on their bed, only to find the room empty. Others have heard phantom footsteps pacing the corridors at night, along with unexplained whispers that seem to come from nowhere. Room 16 is particularly notorious. Staff avoid it whenever possible after numerous reports of lights flickering, objects moving on their own, and an overwhelming feeling of dread. Some believe the spirit of a heartbroken woman who took her own life in that room still lingers, her sorrow echoing through the years. The hotel's old staircase is another hot spot, where visitors have felt invisible hands brush against them or heard children's laughter when no kids are around. Even skeptics admit there's something unsettling about the Grand Hotel's atmosphere, a heavy, almost watchful presence that makes the air feel thicker in certain spots. Whether it's the ghostly woman, the unseen children, or something even older, one thing's for sure: this hotel doesn't just host the living. If you stay the night, don't be surprised if you get more than you bargained for. 8. The Wentworth Hotel. The Wentworth Hotel in Sydney is a place where history and hauntings collide, creating an atmosphere thick with ghostly tales. Opened in 1884, this grand old hotel has hosted everyone from wealthy travelers to notorious criminals, and some say a few of them never left. The most famous ghost is that of a woman in white, often seen drifting through the upper corridors before vanishing near the old staircase. Guests have reported waking up to the sound of her crying, only to find their room empty, the air suddenly cold. Others have spotted her reflection in mirrors when no one is standing there, a pale face with sad, hollow eyes that sends chills down the spine. But she's not the only spirit lingering in the Wentworth. The basement, once used as storage during the hotel's darker days, is a hotspot for paranormal activity. Staff swear they've heard chains rattling and low, angry whispers echoing off the walls, perhaps remnants of the hotel's rumored past as a temporary holding cell for prisoners in the 1800s. Even the elevators have a mind of their own, stopping on abandoned floors or opening to reveal empty hallways that shouldn't exist. Some believe the building itself is a gateway of sorts, a place where the past bleeds into the present. Whether you're a guest or just passing through, the Wentworth has a way of making you feel watched, like the walls themselves are alive with secrets. One thing's for sure: if you stay here, you might not be sleeping alone. 9. The Savoy Hotel. The Savoy Hotel in Adelaide is a place where the past never quite fades away. Built in 1914, this elegant hotel hides spine-tingling secrets behind its classic facade. Guests and staff have reported ghostly encounters for decades, with many believing the spirits of former residents still roam the halls. The most famous ghost is a woman dressed in 1920s clothing, often seen gliding through the upper floors before vanishing near the old staircase. Some say she was a heartbroken guest who died tragically in her room, her sorrow still lingering in the air. Visitors have woken to the sound of her weeping or felt an icy hand brush against them in empty corridors. Room 12 is particularly haunted, with reports of lights flickering, faucets turning on by themselves, and the overwhelming feeling of being watched. Housekeeping staff refuse to enter alone after encountering a shadowy figure standing in the corner, only for it to disappear when they blink. The hotel's basement is another eerie spot, where phantom footsteps echo and cold spots appear out of nowhere. Some believe the spirits are tied to the building's early days, when it housed both wealthy travelers and troubled souls. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, the Savoy's unsettling atmosphere is hard to ignore. The air feels heavier in certain rooms, as if the walls themselves hold on to old tragedies. For those brave enough to stay overnight, one thing's certain: you might not be the only one checking in. 10. The Orient Hotel. The Orient Hotel in Rockhampton has been serving more than just drinks since 1863. It's been serving up ghost stories that would make your hair stand on end. This grand old pub, with its iron-lace balconies and creaky floorboards, is home to several spirits who don't seem to know they've passed on. The most active ghost is a former barmaid named Sarah, who died under mysterious circumstances in the 1890s. Staff regularly hear her humming old tunes in empty rooms and catch glimpses of her Victorian-era dress swirling around corners. The upstairs hallway is particularly haunted, where guests report waking to the sound of a woman sobbing, only to find their door mysteriously unlocked in the morning. But Sarah isn't alone. A grumpy old man, believed to be a former publican, haunts the main bar area, where bottles sometimes move by themselves and chairs rearrange overnight. Some say he's still angry about being cheated in a business deal long ago. The creepiest spot is room 7, where multiple guests have fled in the middle of the night after feeling an unseen presence sit on their bed. Paranormal investigators have recorded strange voices and sudden temperature drops throughout the building. Even during the day, there's an eerie feeling in certain corners, as if you're being watched from the shadows. With its long history of bar fights, illicit gambling, and rumored murders, it's no wonder the Orient Hotel's past residents refuse to leave. Whether you're having a beer or spending the night, keep your eyes open. You might just spot one of Rockhampton's permanent ghostly patrons.